Deion Sanders sends strong message to Colorado critics. In the ever-intense world of college football, where every snap, every decision, and every headline gets magnified under the blinding lights of media scrutiny, few figures stand taller, or more defiantly, than Deion Coach Prime Sanders. The man who once electrified the NFL with his swagger, speed, and unmatched charisma has found himself at the center of yet another storm. This time, the setting isn't the bright turf of the NFL but the rocky plains of Boulder, Colorado, where Sanders' faith-driven, unapologetically confident leadership has transformed the Colorado Buffaloes into one of the most polarizing and talked-about teams in America. Yet amid the noise, critics calling him a showman, doubters questioning his methods, skeptics claiming his success was just a flash in the pan, Deion Sanders has delivered a message loud and clear. Don't doubt what God is doing here. It's not just a statement. It's a declaration of purpose, a spiritual warning shot, and a glimpse into the heart of one of the most complex and inspiring figures in modern sports. A program rebuilt on faith and fire. When Sanders took the Colorado job, the Buffaloes were in shambles. The once proud program had become a ghost of its former self. 1-11 the year before his arrival, low morale, disinterested recruits, and a fan base that had grown used to disappointment. Critics laughed when Sanders promised that change was coming. But for Deion, change wasn't just about wins, it was about spiritual transformation. God called me here, Sanders said in his first press conference as Colorado's head coach. He didn't just send me here to coach football. He sent me to change lives. And from the moment he stepped foot in Boulder, everything changed. The energy, the music, the message, everything screamed belief. Sanders brought in his sons Shadur and Shiloh, along with two-way superstar Travis Hunter, and quickly began building a team that reflected his own personality. Confident, faith-filled, disciplined, and unafraid. But as Colorado's rise captured the imagination of the sports world in 2023, it also drew the ire of traditionalists. Many accused Sanders of being too flashy, too loud, and too spiritual. His message of faith, often expressed through bold statements and unapologetic praise for God, rubbed some the wrong way. Yet Sanders never flinched. God doesn't make mistakes, he said in an interview. And if you doubt what's happening in Colorado, you're not doubting me, you're doubting him. The critics come for Coach Prime. The critics have always been there. From his first day as Neon Deion in the NFL to his transformation into Coach Prime, Sanders has walked through a storm of skepticism. But college football, with its entrenched traditions and old guard culture, presented a unique challenge. Many questioned his unconventional approach. The transfer portal exodus, where nearly 70 Colorado players left after his arrival, became a media firestorm. Pundits accused him of arrogance. Commentators said he was destroying the culture of college football. Some even claimed his faith-based leadership was a marketing gimmick. But Deion didn't back down. "I'm not here to fit in," Sanders said bluntly during a press conference. "I'm here to win. I'm here to lead. And I'm here because God placed me here." For every critic, there seemed to be an equal wave of support from those inspired by his message. Churches across the country quoted him. Parents of athletes pointed to Sanders as proof that faith and football could coexist in modern sports. And through it all, Deion's focus never wavered. "This ain't about me," he told ESPN. "This is about the young men in that locker room. It's about showing them that no matter how dark it looks, God still has a plan." Faith over fame. It's easy to mistake Deion Sanders' confidence for ego. After all, the man built his career on flash and flare. Dancing into the end zone, showing up in suits that made headlines, turning every moment into a spectacle. But behind the showmanship lies a deep spiritual foundation that has guided him through every storm. In recent months, that faith has been tested. Health concerns, knee surgeries, and circulation issues have kept Sanders under the microscope. Critics whispered that he was losing focus. Others suggested that his health might force him to step away. But instead of retreating, Sanders turned his trials into testimony. "I'm not worried about what people say," he declared in a recent video. "God is healing me. God is guiding me. And when God is in control, you can't lose." His unwavering faith became not just a personal pillar but a team-wide mantra. Players began speaking more openly about their beliefs. Practices often ended in prayer. Pre-game speeches invoked purpose and divine destiny. "He's not just our coach," one Colorado player said. "He's our spiritual leader." That dynamic, so rare in modern college sports, has created something extraordinary in Boulder. A culture that blends competitiveness with conviction, swagger with spirituality. "Don't doubt what God is doing here," the message that echoed across the nation. When Sanders delivered his now-viral statement, "Don't doubt what God is doing here," he wasn't just defending himself. He was standing up for his program, his players, and the higher purpose that has driven his mission from day one. The context was simple. After another round of criticism following a tough loss and a media frenzy questioning Colorado's direction, Deion faced the cameras, composed and calm. Reporters expected excuses. Instead, they got faith. "You all can write what you want," he said, his voice steady but firm. "You can doubt the wins, you can doubt the process, but don't doubt what God is doing here. Because this is bigger than football." That line spread like wildfire. Churches quoted it. Fans turned it into t-shirts. Even opposing coaches couldn't help but admire the conviction behind it. For Sanders, the message wasn't about defiance, it was about direction. He wanted people to understand that his mission at Colorado was spiritual first, athletic second. "When you align with God," he later explained, "you don't chase success. Success chases you." Turning pain into purpose. Behind every confident statement, every viral moment, and every sideline celebration lies the truth that Sanders' journey hasn't been easy. His life has been a roller coaster of triumphs and trials, from Hall of Fame glory to painful personal struggles, from the height of fame to the depths of medical crises. In 2022 and 2023, Sanders underwent multiple surgeries to address blood clots in his legs. Doctors warned him of serious risks, and at one point, he faced the possibility of amputation. But through it all, he never stopped believing. "There were nights I couldn't sleep, nights I was in pain, but I knew God was with me," he said. "I didn't come this far to quit now." That resilience has become a cornerstone of Colorado's locker room culture. Players see their coach limping to practice, refusing to rest, always present, always teaching. "If coach can fight through that," one player said, "then we got no excuses." Sanders often uses his personal struggles as lessons for his team. "Pain is part of the process," he tells them, "but every scar, every setback, is proof that God is still working." Rebuilding a belief system in Boulder. Colorado football isn't just being rebuilt in terms of players and facilities. It's being redefined spiritually and emotionally. Sanders has cultivated an atmosphere of accountability, family, and purpose. Gone are the days when the Buffaloes played just to survive a season. Now every practice feels like a sermon. Every locker room huddle, a prayer circle. And it's working not just on the field, but in the community. Ticket sales have soared. Merchandise is selling out. Recruits who once overlooked Colorado now see Boulder as a destination. Parents say they trust Sanders to not only coach their sons, but to mentor them as men. Even when the wins don't come easy, the culture is undeniable. "This is a movement," Sanders said. "We're building something eternal." Critics versus calling. Still, the critics haven't gone silent. They question whether faith can truly coexist with football's ruthless competitiveness. They accuse Sanders of being too religious, too loud, and too unconventional. But Deion's response has never changed. "I don't care what they say," he told a crowd at Folsom Field. "I care what God says. And as long as he says keep going, we're going to keep going." He believes that faith doesn't make a program softer, it makes it stronger. It gives players something deeper to fight for. "When you play for God, you play with freedom," Sanders said. "You stop worrying about failure because you know your purpose." And that purpose has fueled everything he's done, from recruiting top prospects to mentoring his sons, Shadur and Shiloh, who've embraced their father's mission with humility and confidence.